So you want a garden. Good. It's a very good skill. It's a hobby that's going to very quickly turn into a lifestyle. But the question that I always get is, how exactly do you do it? And, what's the best way to grow things? Well, I'm going to take you on a tour of my dead garden, because it is January, and show you the multiple different ways that you can grow your own food. So this is my garden space right now. That's Trudy, but this is my garden space. As you can see, there are multiple things going on here. There's a whole setup, but there is a method to this madness. To anybody that is starting gardening and want to try their hand at it, I always suggest to start with a grow bag. Grow bags are super versatile. You can grow almost anything in them. And I mean anything. In my experience, I have grown peppers, tomatoes, watermelon, rosemary, collard greens, Swiss chard. Pretty much anything I can put in a raised bed, I've been able to put inside of a grow bag. Here's a perfect little example. See this rosemary plant? This rosemary plant has been out here since probably spring 2023, and it's in a 5-gallon grow bag. The beauty about grow bags is they are extremely versatile. If this is a location where I didn't want it, I can easily just pick it up and move it with no problem. I cannot speak highly enough about grow bags. Over in this section, that's rosemary. This was a sun gold tomato. I believe that was a sun gold tomato. This was another tomato. Those were peppers. Those were purple Cherokee tomatoes. Those were San Marzano tomatoes. And I don't remember what that was, but as you can see, I have grow bags all over the place. And some of them get as big as this. Now, I set this grow bag up and did not grow a single thing, because reasons. Sometimes that's just the way it turns out. You have goals, and then other things get in the way. My second suggestion for growing plants is pots. Now, pots are the same thing as grow bags, except for grow bags. What's the best way to explain a grow bag? You don't have to worry about, too much water being kept in a grow bag because it's fabric. Now, pots, on the other hand, for me, I prefer my pots for trees. This is a blueberry tree and a pot, doing well, did very well. Now, you don't have to put a tree in a pot. You can put a tree in the ground, because I've also done that as well. At this current time, I have 3 apple trees, 2 cherry trees, 2 nectarine and plum trees, and 1 Asian pear tree. And I have 2 blueberry bushes in pots. But let's get to my favorite way to grow, which is in free stuff. And when I say free stuff, I mean stuff like this. This is a crate. I've had this crate for about 3 seasons now. It was a crate that was used for shipping, and so I was going to throw it away. I took it, drilled some holes in it, and I still have things growing. I grew, you can still see the remnants of peppers in here. I also grew this wonderful purple kale here, which is still growing. You see how many times I've harvested from this thing. And I still have Swiss chard growing over here. Now, obviously, if you're living in an apartment, you're not going to use a raised bed. You're going to use containers. You're going to use grow bags, or you're going to use grow towers. But I just like the idea of raised beds. I have 3 right here. These are 3 pretty cheap raised beds that I got offline. Probably about $70 on sale. You see, we still got remnants of peppers and things that I haven't cleaned any of this stuff up yet. Now, this back here is a raised bed that I built myself. This bed and that bed over there, no problem. This is a collard plant that This thing's been out here since early last spring as well. I'm going to harvest this soon because it's going to be cleanup time very soon. And I'm also going to redo this area because when everything was growing, it was very hard to get around. I was not planning for the success that I had. And because of that, a lot of stuff got left behind. And actually, this rosemary plant that I have sitting over here, I'm probably going to grab it and bring it into the house because I want to dehydrate it. Because we don't just grow food just to, eat it in a meal. We also dehydrate our herbs so that we can use them for later. As you can see, these are 2 raised beds connected by a nice little arch. And while this is dead, clearly they're dead. When you look in here, you know what you got? Seeds. That's what you got right there. At least I think that's what I got. Yep. That's a rattlesnake bean. That's a seed. And I'm just going to drop it because I really don't care what happens to it at this point. So these are my trees. This is a potted cherry tree. This is also a potted cherry tree. And this is a potted apple tree along with those. And my lawnmower is just hanging out because I don't feel like moving it. This page might be different than what you're used to. I'm going to show you the good, the bad, and the ugly. Because gardening is fulfilling, but it is also not without your list of failures. You're going to fail a lot. And you need to be okay with that. You need to expect that. Don't look at somebody's harvest and say, oh my God, look at what they did. What am I doing wrong? Don't do that. Just don't ever do that. Because if I rated my ability to garden off of how many plants that I killed, then I probably shouldn't be gardening. But let's get back to some other ways to grow, because this is just a small section of how I grow. Let's say you want to garden and you don't have a lot of space. Well, that's when you get towers like this. Doesn't matter what brand they are, doesn't matter where you get them from. The point of a vertical is so that you can grow as many things as possible. Now, I still have some things growing out here, some stuff still hanging on. I also have a lot of dead stuff. This is all the strawberries that are dead that'll probably come back next season. If you look real close, you can see the dead strawberry. But grow towers, you can fill these up with as much stuff as you want to, and you'll have harvests for a lot of months to come. And I gotta tell you, it's just, there's so many different ways you can do this. And this is just outside. I think it's time to take you inside and show you the ways you can grow inside as well. Hopefully you're starting your seeds inside. You can direct sow a lot of them. Of course, we'll get into more details about that, the more videos that I do. But there's one that I left out. The easiest one is to just grow things straight in the ground, which is what this patch over here is. This is stuff that just was growing in the ground. That is a catnip mint plant that I'm going to have for the rest of my life because I made the mistake of putting it in the ground. Don't ever put mint in the ground. Seriously, don't ever put mint in the ground because you will never get rid of it. That mint just lives here now. But let's get inside and show you some other ways you can grow while it's all gray and cold outside, shall we? Of course, indoor growing is mainly going to be done hydroponically. Hydroponic gardening is going to cost a little bit of money. You can go small or you can go big. You're going to get pretty much the same results. This is a small hydroponic garden that I have. I have something growing here. This is a big hydroponic garden that I have. This is a plant growing inside of a mason jar. Predatory. These are seeds that I'm starting in little teeny tiny grow bags. And this is something that I'm going to be setting up soon because I want to have some indoor gardening that's going to be pretty easy for me to do. So I'm pretty excited about that. To those of you that don't know me, this gardening page is going to be different. You're going to see everything. The good, the bad, the ugly, the really ugly, the stupid, the bad planning, the everything. There will be success. There will be failures. There will be fun. There will be sadness. But I aim to be realistic about this gardening thing. Because as I said, For me, gardening is not a hobby anymore. It is certainly a lifestyle. And with gardening, it's going to get you into some other things. I have slipped into the world of self-sufficiency. I have slipped into the world of saving seeds. I have slipped into making seasonings out of my peppers, dehydrating my herbs and making seasonings for later. I'm playing around with canning, bartering. This just gets you in a lot of different places. So the goal of this page is to try to teach everything that I've learned, to try to help people learn from my mistakes. But my comment sections will always be open. I will try to respond as much as possible. The next video that you see from me is going to be me putting together that indoor garden, because I do so much gardening hands-on. Like, I get my hands dirty. I'm down on my hands and knees. It would be nice to have something in the house that just does all the work for me. But I appreciate y'all for joining my page. Subscribe, sign up for the alerts. I plan on doing 1 to 3 videos a week. And as I said before, my comment section is a place for conversation and engagement. If you have a question, I'll do my best to answer it. I don't have much of a social life outside of work and family. And just to explain, the name VisionOfRyan is exactly what it means. It is my vision for the life that I want to live. I want to get back to a place where people knew how to survive on their own. And one of the biggest ways to make sure you survive is knowing how to grow and produce your own food, knowing how to save your seeds, knowing how to hunt, knowing how to fish, knowing how to do things in case any more supply chain issues come up. We all remember that. So I'm very grateful for the following I've been able to grow on other platforms, and I am definitely ready to grow one over here as well. Yeah. I'm sitting here playing with some seeds because, of course, it's just what I do. There we go. Green beans died, and we got seeds. These will be used for next season. We can let those shells go, but that is the definition of growing your own food and saving your seeds. Until next time, hope everyone has a good day.